I have just got back from my 5th attempt at the Fletta Trail weekend in Italy. A VK on the Saturday, a trail half marathon on the Sunday, and in this video I'm going to show you what makes this race so special and why I keep going back to one of the most brutal weekends of racing in the calendar. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you throughout the video.
What's up, guys? Okay, today we are in Milano for the 2026 Fletta Trail edition, so let's go!
Alright, I have just got back from one of the most brutal weekends of racing in the calendar, Fletta Trail. Now, for those of you that don't know, this is a double header weekend with a VK on the Saturday, so 1,000 meters of climbing in only 3.5 kilometers, followed by a trail half marathon on the Sunday with yet another 1,200 meters of climbing. Absolutely brutal, and a race that I've done now 5 times, which just shows how much I love it. In this video, I'm going to try and show you why that is, why I love it so much, and what makes this race so special. There is a lot going on in these weekends, as you will soon see, so it does mean that the camera work is a little bit bitty. There is not much of a storyline, but I've tried to put together as best I can. So I'm now going to throw it back to Thursday when I arrived in Bergamo and tell you a little bit about what I got up to in the first couple of days. So I woke up after a late night getting in, a late flight, and the first thing is a cup of tea on the balcony and a flick through this year's brochure. Today on the cards I've got an easy shakeout followed by bib pickup, so first is just an easy hour or two on the balcony before starting the day. Alright, good morning. I am back for my favourite weekend of the year. It is Fletta Trail weekend, and I'm back to do both races. I'm just going to go and grab some fruit for my breakfast. I've brought some porridge from home, so I'm going to go and grab that. And yeah, pretty chilled morning. Just walking now, I'm going to have my tea. The shop is just about open, it's about 8 o'clock. Yeah, show you how the day unfolds. Today I've got a shakeout run, so I'm going to go check out some of the course. I already know it very, very well, but we'll go and see, get a feel for it, get excited. That'll be the day. Oh, right. I am on a bit of a shakeout, so I'm just on the Fletta Trail route. I'm going to do the first first climb, and then take a shortcut over to the last descent. It's about 8k, probably get about 400 meters in. Perfect timing with the bells. So yeah, this is probably my favorite weekend of the calendar. I absolutely love this race. But it's so polarizing because the VK is probably the race that I find just the most challenging of the year. More in the sense that I really like VKs and I like the format, but I just find it such a hard course as VKs go. So, you know, I enjoy it, but I just always find it so much harder than I want it to be. And then on the Sunday, I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite race of the year. The support is amazing. Each village you go through comes out and does their own sort of theme for supporting. Yeah, looking forward to that one this weekend, but got to get through tomorrow first, and this year has some extra significance because it is the Italian VK Champs, and obviously now that I'm running for an Italian club, I can help the team. It'd be nice to be in the top 3 for my team, but we'll see. But yeah, gonna get this running first, and then go for lunch. So I've just left the course now. I am at 4k in. I'm just on a little cut through now to get to the last descent. Even just running some of this course now is getting me so excited. It's just so flowy, like the climbs are fast, the descents are all on this kind of thing, like it's just so quick. I just love it. The only problem is there's so many dogs. I'll keep filming because I bet there's one through here now. Hey buddy. Well done. Oh, I'm knackered. 8 and a bit K. Just under 400 metres. Solid. Alright, so the day's done. I've not actually filmed much today. I kind of keep forgetting, which is annoying, but not much has happened today. Did the shakeout and then went to pick up the bib. And yeah, now heading down to dinner. You can actually see where I've got to go. Well, you can't actually see it from here. It's just in the piazza, which is down there. Yeah, feels like a long old way from the hostel, which is behind me up there. Heading down for dinner now. It is about 7 o'clock. Might show you what I get for dinner. I don't know. I'm always a bit nervous getting the camera out. I'm still pretty new to this. I might do a little discreet one of the food. The race tomorrow is the VK, starts at 9:30, so nice standard time for breakfast, and then yeah, head over. Should be a good one. So on the Friday night, unfortunately there were crazy storms, so the presentation actually got called off. So it was a case of dinner for the athletes and then an early night ready for the Saturday race.
Ciao, ciao, dormito?
Bene.
You've seen the kind of thing. There is a wrap on the miniature director said the streaker. The minute.
There's also what we can see on this case. It's in the like that.
Dai, occhio che ne uno dietro, dai Jake, dai, dai.
Alright, so as you can see, that was the Piz Tri Vertical. As I said before, it is 1,000 meters of climbing in only 3.5 kilometers, which as verticals go, that is very, very steep, and it doesn't suit me, as I did say. So it wasn't the main focus for the weekend. It's purely a race that I wanted to do this year for the dynamic of being in a team and helping the team out. All things considered, I was very happy with the performance. The fact that I was going into it purely as a warm-up for the Sunday, I was happy with how I managed it. I went out fairly conservatively and actually managed to get a PB on the course. I put that down to the power hiking mostly. In all these previous years, I've always tried to tap away and just get to the top as fast in my mind as I can. But actually, power hiking really does pay dividends on a course like this. Sub 40 was what I wanted. I ended up doing 39.37. which got me 34th position on the day, which doesn't sound great, but actually when you look at the field and look at how stacked it was, with it being the Italian VK Champs and also just a very stacked international race as always, I was fairly happy with the performance and more importantly just with the time, and it's something to build off in the next years. So now you are going to see some of the post-race shenanigans that go on. It finishes in a pretty special place. It finishes at the top of the hill. I'm going to show you a little bit of mingling at the top and also some of the food. We got served some amazing polenta, which was the perfect thing for after the race. And then I'm going to show you the fun task of getting down the mountain. Every year it's the same, and this year I was lucky enough to find a very comfortable lift down with a few others.
Esplode la provetta.
Oh.
Cosa?
Fondata. Male.
I was like, I don't want to risk getting cooked, but
It doesn't strike.
how's your race? I've not seen you.
I'm always vlogging.
How was it?
Alright, yeah. I mean...
Per la classifica del team femminile alla Rega.
Bravo.
Vlog, facciamo la preview per domani del tempo.
Sì?
Come l'altra volta.
Ah, ok, che tempo vuoi?
Io vorrei 1 ora e 35.
Ah, ok.
Per team. E adesso la classifica maschile.
Vediamo un po' indietro.
Vai, mollamela.
So the Saturday afternoon after the race is always a bit of a write-off. Most people are napping or snacking or just relaxing. I went for a little wander and then it was time to head down for dinner and the presentation ahead of the Sunday race.
Collier! Jake, welcome back home. E poi dall'Inghilterra un atleta da segnare col circoletto rosso per domani.
So race morning, the breakfast is very similar to yesterday's that you might have seen. As always, and as you may know by now, an absolute classic for me is porridge, a little bit of honey and banana. I have a black tea. You will also notice there are some bicarb tablets. Now this was a slightly new addition for me, but this was the breakfast: bowl of porridge, a cup of tea and some bicarb, and then a load of coffee.
Better this.
Alright, so that is the Fletta Trail done. Hopefully those few race clips have given you a bit of an insight into how the race unfolded, but I'll take you through it now and tell you exactly how it went. So I will put on screen now the profile of the race, and as you can see, it climbs for a very long time. You do a lot of the climbing, I think about 700 to 800 of it in the first 7 or 8k. In parts it's very steep, but it is very, very fast, with the first 2k being completely on road. Now, the fact that I've done this race for a few years now has given me the experience, so I always try and go out pretty conservative and essentially treat it as a bit of a tempo in the first 2k. It's always hard. I always feel like I'm almost not racing and everyone's just going past me, people that I would really want to be beating or be around and want to be battling with. I almost have to just let go. It's something I did last year, which worked well, and I was very strict on myself to do the same this year. So at the 2K mark, when we reached the trail, I was quite far down. I want to say I was probably 25th, 26th, something like this, but feeling good, feeling like the legs were warming up and sort of flushing out any sort of fatigue from yesterday's race. As soon as you get into single track in the forest, all the trees around you, I really find it easier to just sort of lock into a pace and grind it out. So once we hit the trail, I was very happy to do that. The mantra for the next sort of 5K or so was just to run my own race. I didn't consider anyone around me, and I just tried to keep a consistent effort, and it seemed to work. For the next few K, I was only overtaking, and it was really, really positive. Now, one of the reasons I love this race so much is because the descent suits me, and that is very, very rare for me to say. Descending has never been a strong suit for me, but in this race, I really feel like I can push, and that is because it is very, very minimal in technicality. It's very, very fast. There's the odd rocky section through the forest, but the faster you go, sometimes the less of an obstacle they are. So I really find that I can push in this route, and it's something that really levels the playing field for me. So after the first uphill, I have some flowy sections which are fast downhills into another kicker of an uphill, and this continues for about another 5K until the highest point, which is about 12 kilometers into the race. For the whole of that top section, I was just sort of yo-yoing with people, but in general, I was overtaking, and I probably ended up at the high section in about 17th place. From the high point, you've got about 8K left, and it is all on very, very fast downhill. The odd little kicker. At that point, the only people you then end up getting are either the people that are weaker at descending, but in my case, there's not many that are weaker, or the people that blow up. And in this race, you can always guarantee there's going to be a couple of those. So I managed to gain a couple of places on the descent, and coming into the finish for the last couple of K on the road, I felt really strong, energy was good, and at that point, it was kind of a Hail Mary. The stomach wasn't going to give me any problems, and if it did, I'd only have a few hundred meters to go. So I gave it everything in the last few and managed to get another place on the final run-in on the road. So for context, last year I did 1 hour 37 low. I think it was 1 hour 37 and 7 seconds, something like that. I'll put it on the screen here anyway now. And at the time, that was a very, very good run for me. I was very fit at the time, and I think I considered that one of my best performances of the year. But this year, I think I'm in a better place overall. I think I've probably gone up at a bit of a level since last year. So I was hoping to better that. And like I said at the start, I wanted to try and do around 1 hour 35. Now, as you saw in the breakfast, and as I did mention, the bicarb was a bit of a new addition. So I've had bicarb before, but these are new ones, and these are slightly different to ones I've used in the past. Some of you may know some of the more common brands that have done bicarb for a little while now, and you put them in an energy gel and have them as a bit of a horrible soup. Now, I don't really like doing that, and sometimes I find it quite complicated to know exactly how to fuel when you've got the addition of the energy gel with the bicarb. So these ones, to me, feel a lot easier to take on. However, today I took the dosage that is recommended for my body weight, but it is actually more than double the dosage I had in a previous race. Now, it's always hard to credit certain feelings and sensations to just one thing, but during the race I had really, really bad stomach problems. Pretty much from the gun, there was a niggling thought in my mind that I don't know if I'm going to finish this. I was really, really in a bad way, and the stomach I could feel bouncing around within the first kilometre. From there, it was a bit of damage control. Throughout the race, it did seem to get better. Whether I got used to managing it or whether it did seem to settle, I'm not 100%, but pretty much until the end, I was worried. Now, I don't want to be completely negative because the legs did feel really, really good, and energy was really good as well. The fueling going into this race was as follows. I had Voom bars, which come in little blocks of 4. 4 blocks make up 1 bar. Now, last year I had probably the best execution of a race nutrition in Fletta Trail, so the idea was to try and replicate that as best as possible. So I had 3 bars, all broken up into 12 blocks just in the front pocket of my belt, all completely loose and really accessible throughout the race. So what I ended up doing was, after about 20 minutes, I ended up having 1 block every 10 minutes, and it was the perfect way to just keep topped up on those energy levels. Having 1 block is never enough to really unsettle things, but it is enough to keep ticking over for the next 10 minutes. So energy-wise, it was a really, really good performance, and I felt like they were kept topped up the whole race and even able to finish strong. The only downside was that my stomach was really in a bad way. And again, I don't want to completely credit that to the bicarb, but it's not something I've tested out a lot. And really, that's my own doing. I haven't tested it enough at that dosage. So to use it in a race like that was always going to be a risk. But that's why we do these things. The race really had low stakes. It was a race I wanted to do well in, but I didn't need to do well in. For me, it was a good chance to test it. And actually, having the experience of having to manage a race with these problems is always good as well. Having said all that, I ended up running this year 1 hour 37:51, I think, give or take a couple of seconds. Again, I'll put it on screen now. So you may think, that's worse than last year, bit of a disappointment, where did it all go wrong? However, it's not quite how I'm looking at it. I think it was a very good performance given the circumstances. So this year's result was skewed a little bit slower. It was very, very hot, and I think everyone felt it. So for the 2 times to be pretty much the same, and for this year's to be a so-called bad result for me, I'm very happy with where I'm at and where the legs are at. The final position was 16th, which is 1 position lower than last year, but I'm more than happy to take that. It was a very stacked field. I went into this weekend fairly run down, fairly fatigued, but wanting to go and give it a go purely because of the race that it was. I don't think I would have gone and made the effort to do any other race had it not been at Fletta Trail. This race means quite a lot to me, and actually it's become sort of a reference point for the fitness each year. It's definitely a step in the right direction, definitely a level up from last year. I do just want to say that this weekend is not just about the racing for me. There is so much that goes into it. The history of this race and the community that is built around this race is really just awe-inspiring. So it is a race that I highly recommend anyone that gets the chance goes and does. The VK as well is absolutely amazing. It might not suit me, but it's an amazing race, an amazing spectacle, and you can see it for yourself. So if you get the chance, definitely go and race it. I highly recommend. For me, I will be there next year. I will be doing another video, hopefully. Let's hope these videos continue, and hopefully I can better the results. So after the race, it was just a case of replenishing all of the stores, getting in some food. So it was a pizza for me, and then a nice quick journey back. I arrived in Liverpool in the evening, and I've just spent the last couple of days recovering, going on walks with the dog, going to the gym and doing some sauna and ice bath, and I managed to do a run today and the legs feel really good. So hopefully it's straight back into training for me and straight back into the next target. It is a few weeks of just training and getting ready for the next race in Italy, which is on the 23rd of August, which again is another uphill only race, and this one is another Italian champs. I'll speak more about that in the next videos. I really appreciate all the love on the last video, and it seems like everything is going in the right direction. So please keep supporting, please keep watching the videos, share them. Any help is very, very appreciated, and I'm absolutely loving making them. So I hope you're enjoying watching them. Any questions about the race, please let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer if I've not answered during the video. And yeah, see you in the next one.